Hey YouTube, Common Collector here, and today we're here with Andy. He just topped at locals here with Dinomorphia, so go ahead and say who you are. How'd the day go?
Yeah, day went great. Had some hard matchups against Labyrinth and Tempai. Drytron also was a pretty hard matchup. Shout out to Common Collector here, but
thanks for mentioning my deck last.
You know, hey man, you were the one that needed the most mentions. I can't speak. All right, we're getting into the profile here.
Yep.
So we start out with 3 Theresia. Starter of the deck. We got 2 Diplos. I ran 3 Diplos originally, but it just didn't end up. You kind of break the hand. You just want a fusion material most of the time. It did end up clutching me the game against Labyrinth. I summoned him out 3 times out of the grave to burn for 1500 and ended up closing the game with that. So yeah, he has a purpose. He's good. We have the fusion traps. We run 3 Frenzy and 3 Domain. Fusion trap, you want to max out on these as much as you can, see as many of them as you can. We then have 1 Brute, 1 Alert, and we have 1 Sonic. So Brute is your 2 non-target pop, 1 of your cards, 1 of their cards. Alert is your revive for up to 8 levels of Dinomorphia monsters, and Sonic is your spell trap negate. Very good cards, awesome. We then play 3 copies of the new card, Dinomorphia Intact from Syac. This card is amazing. If you get it off, it'll save your life points against Tempai players. It'll have to hit you around 12 times to actually kill you, because it'll just, every damage you do will just instead half your life points. We then do 3 copies of Fossil Dig. I've seen some people run 2, but I like to run 3 just so I can see Kent as much as possible and make sure she shows up in hand. Then play 2 Mass Change as a spicy pick. You'll see that in the extra deck when we get there, but yeah, it actually helps out a lot.
That card absolutely killed me in against Drytron.
Absolutely, it was great. We then play 2 copies of Arias the Lab Butler. You could play 3. I didn't want to pay for 3, so I got 2. Showed up once for me, and she did help out a lot in getting that last win against Labyrinth. Then do 2 Wannabe. I could run 3. Again, just found 2 works best for me when she shows up. We then have 3 copies of Shifter in the main. It's a good card, especially with the Mass Change, because if you draw it going first, you can pitch it off of Mass Change to make, spoiler, Dark Law is what I make with this, and you don't have to be under the effect, and you put your opponent under it. And then if you keep it in the main deck and you go second, you have Shifter to put your opponent under. And then you just set all the cards on your turn and pass. The 1 Misc, you gotta run that. It's great. We then run Triple Judgments, Double Iron Thunder, because they're just the way to insulate your plays better, pay half your life points. We do Triple Ferret Flames. Again, seen people run 2. I like having 3 because that saved me once again against Brennan here. Shuffled his whole board away so he didn't kill me. And then 3 Soul of the Supreme King, mainly for its pay half, but the Zark package is primo in this deck. That's all for the main deck. Now for the extra. We run 3 copies of Kentragina, 2 copies of Stealthburgia, and 3 copies of Dinomorphia Rextrum. Stealthburgia actually came up clutch against, again, Common Collector here, burning him for game.
Yeah, that was
and the Rextrum here, great boss monster, saves me a lot against a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that was probably the hardest card that I was trying to get around, because especially with Drytron, like everything works in hand and like you get the effects off in hand, but then like once they're on the board, trying to link into anything that mattered or XZ plays or anything, nothing really mattered. So it just, everything was just nothing.
Yeah, main point of the deck, protect Rextrum at all costs. Keep him on field. All right, for the Zark package, we play 1 Supreme King Zark. Shout out to Common Collector again. He hooked me up with it. And then we play the Odd Eyes Arcray.
It's the common.
Yeah, it is the common. So
I had it.
The Odd Eyes Arcray didn't come up at all, really. People got rid of Zark, or I got rid of Zark fast enough. But if Zark does live to your turn, you can put him back in the extra deck and make Odd Eyes Arcray to have a permanent 4th beater on field. For summoning off of Supreme King, we play 1 Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon for spell trap negate and immune to monster effects, and a Brave Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Cost me a bit of change, but well worth it to save me from hand traps. And a small Xyz package with Dolka and Logia. Didn't come up very much, mostly just made them there to block. And then finally, Master Hero Darklaw for the extra deck. Very great card, helped me out a lot, keeps graveyard heavy decks on the back foot.
Yep. And did you want to go over side too?
Yep, I can go over side here quick.
Perfect.
For side, we have an extra alert to revive in case we are coming up against a deck that has a lot more grind. For the Snake Eye matchup, we have 3 Chain Disappearance. This card is amazing. Basically, when they summon a monster with 1,000 or less attack, you target it, banish it, and then you banish all copies from their hand and deck as well. So hit their Ash, hit their Poplar, And of course, we have the power filters as well. Just again, another insulation against snake eye and anything that has lower level monsters. Also low, I guess, if you really wanted to go there. Side deck also includes the Imperm and the Anti-Spell Fragrance. Imperm barely came up. Anti-Spell Fragrance at limited doesn't really help you much. And then we play 3 Typhoon. Typhoon's a new one I saw on another deck profile, which was pretty good. Basically, if your opponent controls 2 or more spell cards or trap cards, you can play from your hand and pop one, or you can just set it and use it as basic spell trap removal. So, very good. And finally, we have 2 Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Came up a bunch, helped me out a lot, got a 3k beater on field, and protected my back row from any nasty feather dusters.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the Dinomorphia deck profile. Make sure you sub to Common Collector.
One question I had, is it a 40-card deck?
43, I think.
43 in the main? Okay. And would you say it's pretty standard build? Like most people kind of play the ratios?
Most people seem to play 1 to 2 less of everything. I like having the 3 copies just so they show up of things. But yes, it is, I'd say, pretty standard a lot of the time.
Okay, well, cool. Yeah, it's been really good. Like, as you've been bringing it to locals, seems like it's really good. We've had a lot of great matchups. So thanks you, Andy, for the deck profile. And again, like you said, subscribe to Common Collector, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.